Good morning, everybody, and a happy Friday morning to you. Oh my, oh my. All right, we have a lot of royal news, and then, of course, we've got the Harry Meghan stuff. It's inevitable, so there's a lot to cover. Let's just jump in and get there. I apologize, because once again, this is a really long video. Let's go. We're starting off with Princess Beatrice, who gave birth to a daughter. The name is Athena Elizabeth Rose Mapelli Mosey. The baby was born on January 22nd. Now, to be fair, the baby was born early. I think I've told you guys before that I was concerned that she was having a harder time this time around because they kept saying you can't travel here, you can't travel there. And the baby was born several weeks early, but seems to be perfectly healthy. And of course, they followed the tradition of honoring Queen Elizabeth. We also know that she has another daughter, that adorable little girl named Sienna. And so I think Sienna will be a great big sister. She was a tiny baby born weighing 4 pounds, 5 ounces. Yeah. She's a little itty bitty thing. Babies that small make me very nervous. Anyway, they said she's tiny, but absolutely perfect. And Wolfie and Sienna are already in love with her. Good for them. And right after the birth, Sarah Ferguson issued a statement that said, overflowing with love and joy to be able to welcome Athena Elizabeth Rose into the world. She's already so adored, and I'm incredibly blessed to be a granny once again. So proud of Edo, Beatrice, and the rest of my little 5A side team. How sweet is that? I love it. It didn't take long for Harry and Meghan's PR to start with this crap. Oh, they're just alike because Athena's second name is Elizabeth and Harry and Meghan's daughter is Lilibet. And so they both pay tribute to their beloved late grandmother, blah, blah, blah. Let's be honest, or great-grandmother, let's be honest. Queen Elizabeth was upset when Harry and Meghan took the name Lilibet. It was a nickname. Her father, the Duke of York, referred to her as Lilibet. He did that even after he became king. It was then used by Philip, and Elizabeth, Queen Elizabeth, wanted the name to die with her, and Harry and Meghan co-opted it. So let's just be honest. That little girl is going to have to learn to live with the fact that her parents named her against the head of a supposedly horrible racist family. Let's be real. That was done to upset the Queen and nothing else. All right, let's move on. Let's move on now to King Charles and Queen Camilla. On January 29th, they hosted a reception at Buckingham Palace for the newly elected members of Parliament from the 2024 election, as well as the newly appointed members of the House of Lords. UK leader Nigel Farage, Reform UK Deputy Leader Richard Tice were both spotted speaking with Prince Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh. Sophie, also, the Duchess of Edinburgh, was spotted at the reception. I love this outfit of hers. I brought you remoulade sauce at the end so you can see what she's wearing. I have seen this outfit before. One of the people she was seen talking to was Lee Pitcher. King Charles was seen greeting Kemi Badenoch, I hope I said that correctly, and Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer. And then the King and Queen took this fabulous photo with both of them, Keir Starmer and Kemi Badenoch. Now, also spotted at the reception was the Duchess of Gloucester. I love her in red. And of course, her fabulous husband, the Duke of Gloucester. Of course, the Queen was also spotted, and I've seen that dress on the Queen before as well. Now, one of the highlights, of course, for me was that Sophie met the guide dog of Steve Darling. You know how she is with animals? She just couldn't help herself. She got down. She was petting this poor animal. This animal was just absolutely adorable. The animal actually picked up its paw, handed the paw over to Sophie, and it was all over it. They called this dog the Golden Girl, and they've also made a social media fan page for the dog. Now, I've already told you Nigel Farage was there, and he did not speak to the king or queen. He said, I've met them multiple times. I wanted to let others have the chance. But he said that Harry and Meghan were Wonder Boy and Wonder Girl for quitting royal duties and moving to America. He said that at the reception. He made that comment while praising the Duchess of Edinburgh, which I think is absolutely the correct thing to do. She's fabulous. It looks like it was a great reception. It looks like everybody had a good time. That's, the most important thing. And a big thank you to Remoulade Sauce for showing us what Sophie was wearing. Let's move on. Let's move on now to Prince William. He went to pay a visit to one of the Earthshot Prize's most recent group of finalists. He went to Guildford. This also took place on the 29th and is a place called Nature Medics. And this enables companies to measure and report on their impact on nature and ecosystems. What this group does is it uses its technology to revolutionize the scale and accessibility of nature data collected through environmental DNA. This is very interesting. And it helps commercial and conservation organizations make more informed choices to better protect and maintain, ecosystems. Prince William visited the laboratories where all samples are analyzed. He reviewed a demonstration of their intelligence platform, which is a customer platform where all the insights can be reviewed. Prince William actually helped extract the DNA from a strawberry. It was pretty cool. Now, this place currently has over 600 clients. They operate in more than 110 countries across multiple industries. And Kensington Palace said it recently got a $25 million investment to enhance the company's nature data platform. Love that. You should know before he went to the lab, he went down to the lake. And he was encouraged to have a go at journalists by the founder of the DNA research organization. So, of course, they handed syringes, they got the samples, and then they started shooting it towards the media. He said afterwards, it wasn't my idea. I didn't say to do that. Can you imagine? He said it was perfect spraying at the journalists. So, and one conversation was overheard by one of the journalists, and he goes, "We're over here." And William shot back, "I know." I think it's nice that he's having fun while he's there. But again, fabulous idea. Good for Earthshot Prize, bringing it to life. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Fabulous. Oh, all right, let's move on now. We're going to talk about Andrew for a second. All right, what is coming out now is that Prince Andrew is apparently, quote unquote, embarrassed by his situation because the house he's staying in is in disrepair, it's in decay, it's become a spectacle. But here's the problem. He doesn't want to downsize or get rid of Royal Lodge. Okay, he has a 75-year lease. He's paying I think it was £150 a week. It's ridiculous. But it's going to be impossible to get the house back up to standards. The problem is, why won't he move out? Well, I have my own personal opinion as to why he doesn't want to go. Believe it or not, there's going to be a documentary this Saturday on Channel 5. It's called The Battle for Royal Lodge, Andrew versus Charles. And they're going to talk about the history of the house and the battle of the brothers to, who's going to keep it, what's going to happen. They talk to experts and historians and architects. Here's my thought. People are saying that he has delusions of grandeur and that's why he doesn't want to move out. I don't think that's what's going on at all. I think the house has memories for him. All around the property are memories of his mother, his aunt, his grandparents. And I just feel like he feels like if he can't be around them physically, if he can't, talk to them and be seen in public with them, then he'd rather hang around at this house knowing that, oh, look over there, that's where my grandfather once stood. Oh, look over here, this was my my great grandmother's reading room. Oh, look, this is where they swam in the pool. Do you understand what I'm saying? Since he's been stripped of holding any public role or patronage after what happened with Epstein, I firmly believe that the biggest problem is that he doesn't want to leave the house because it has all the memories of his family. Memories that, there's no other way for him to be. Does that make sense what I'm trying to say to you? I think it's got nothing to do with, grandeur and delusions and stuff. I think it has to be that he is surrounded by the memories of his family, and I think he doesn't want to let those memories go. That's my personal opinion. All right, let's move on. Let's move on now to one of the stories about Harry. They're saying that Harry actually did not realize that in publicly attacking and annihilating his family verbally, that somehow they would be upset and wouldn't want to talk to him anymore. I'm not kidding. What they're saying is Harry was so naive, he didn't realize that trashing his family would upset them. He didn't realize his actions would cause such a fallout with his family and the public. You know what this reminds me of? Right after the Oprah show, when he called his family basically racists. Do you remember when he said this?
I like to think that we were able to speak truth in the most compassionate way possible, therefore leaving an opening for reconciliation and healing.
So this man actually believed that by going on TV and slamming his family and basically insinuating that the family was racist and they didn't help Meghan and they cut him off financially and nobody's taking his calls and the whole family's against him, but by telling the world this, now we can reconcile and heal. Yes, he is naive. Let's move on now to Meghan, who apparently is struggling, they're saying, because of the Vanity Fair headline and all the other headlines that have come out that are impacting her positive image, because we know that she's been called the work bully and the Duchess in heels, and they're saying she's really struggling since the Vanity Fair expose. It's just so much pressure being in the public eye. It's not that much pressure if you're an honest, nice person. And how is Harry taking the Vanity Fair article? Well, they're claiming he is quote-unquote shell-shocked. Now, one of the claims was that Harry would be more than happy to let his wife be the family breadwinner. And Harry and Meghan now feel betrayed by the article. They say it's so horrific in so many ways. Meghan feels degraded, betrayed, and Harry, they said it's a full-blown assault on both their characters, like someone took a sledgehammer to every aspect of their lives, and it can't be ignored. The biggest problem that Harry and Meghan are having is that Vanity Fair has a lot of credibility and weight in high society circles on both sides of the pond, and the scale of the allegations is so wide-ranging and so damaging that there's no way they can ignore it. Hollywood people are not speaking out on their behalf. Everybody's ignoring them. And that is why articles are coming out saying that Prince Harry is, quote, sharpening his sword to slay another media giant. I'm not kidding. They're actually discussing their options. It's being reported with attorneys. They may want to file a suit against Vanity Fair because the article said that they are entitled, disingenuous people. Well, you know, the way it works, that is their opinion. People are allowed to give their opinions. And of course, they also floated the rumor that Meghan had been shopping around for a deal for a post-divorce book. Let me tell you something. I'm sure these people vetted every single thing that went into that article, just like Tom Bauer, just like Valentine Lowe, just like everybody else. So this article is so disturbing on so many levels, but unfortunately, there's nothing they're going to be able to do about it. They may threaten a lawsuit. I do believe they threatened Tom Bauer and Valentine Lowe, and of course, nothing ever came from it because you can't sue when something is true. Now, in the past, we know Tyler Perry has come out, Abigail Spencer, Mindy Kaling, Beyonce. Friends have come out swinging for Meghan before in defense. That's not happening anymore. Now, as I told you in yesterday's video, Meghan is now going back to Invictus with Harry. So what's happened was she separated from Harry to, I guess, to see on her own if she could do it. People didn't like her. Everything she tried failed. So now she has to go back to hanging out with Harry since her solo endeavors all failed. So since ARO has failed and everything else has failed, now she's going back to Invictus. And as I said before, she's going to absolutely try to pull the attention to herself because that's what she does. It is being said she's going to be at the opening ceremony on February 8th, and they may see more joint appearances from the couple over the next year. So initially, they were saying that Harry was going to go to Vancouver solo, but now they're going to do this, and there's also some talk that they might be bringing the kids. Now, I think I've told you guys a gazillion times before that they're going to bring the kids out when it suits them. So what's going on is nobody likes her, nobody likes him, they're sick of them. So here, let's bring our children now so you guys can see the kids. What they're saying is the Invictus Games is a Sussex initiative and something they want their children to continue as they get older. When did the Invictus Games become a Sussex initiative. I mean, they're saying they're instilling this in the kids from an early age, and they want the event to be as family friendly as possible. But the next thing they said kind of got me. Are you ready? They're saying that this is a patronage that will be passed to Archie, so the foundation can be kept within the family. So Harry is adamant that the Invictus Games remain a Sussex initiative. They have been very involved with the organizational elements of the games, and it was their idea to make it family friendly. So yes, they're probably going to bring the kids along. Are you kidding me? Let me just throw out here that if they do bring the kids to Invictus, in my personal opinion, that's going to throw Harry's case for security right out the window. Because essentially what you're saying is you can go to Colombia, you can go to Nigeria, and you can even take your kids to Canada. But if you go to the UK, you must have IPP status and full security. So if those children show up on that private jet, because we all know they're going to fly by private jet, if they show up on that private jet, his case is sunk, in my opinion. Now, with Meghan showing up, they're trying to reverse all the negative publicity and claim the Invictus Games belongs to us. Let me tell you what people saw. People saw Meghan show up late and give a whole speech about buying her kids milkshakes. Do you really think anybody cared about that whatsoever? Then people saw Meghan, with Harry's approval, you see Harry in the back left there? With Harry's approval, march in these tiny little short shorts in front of veterans. What does she have to do with the veterans or the veteran community? Absolutely nothing. But remember, she's a Nigerian princess, and then she turned the whole thing into Nigeria. Then they went to Nigeria. You guys know exactly what I'm saying. She marched all across when nothing was really, she shouldn't have been there. You guys know exactly what I'm saying. The truth of the matter is, Meghan tried to make the games about herself. She made a spectacle of herself with the 50 gazillion outfit changes, like 3-4 different outfits during the day. It was the clothing. It was her self-promoting actions. People were just so unhappy and so upset after her behavior at the last games. And let's not forget the Freedom of Information Act that showed that she had taken a lot of money for those clothes. She and Harry didn't supply those clothes. She's walking up handing out medals. Who is she to hand medals to anybody? Like, what is this? What is this? Even Harry, the last games when he was marching, look at the camera following him. It was all about the camera. It wasn't for the athletes. People are saying, though, if Meghan doesn't go, then it's going to fuel rumors that there's a problem with them. Now, my one big thing is the fact that Meghan will not wear the Invictus clothing, which there's nothing wrong with the Invictus clothing. But as you can see, this is from 2023. The total of clothing that she wore in 3 days, it was absolutely shocking. And then to find out that people's donations for Invictus Games paid for those clothings, allegedly, that's just disgusting. I really hope she doesn't show up. She will, but I hope not. Now, I want to throw one more thought out there. Harry, if he leaves the United States, may have trouble getting back in. But Meghan, the wife, is a U.S. citizen. So my thought is maybe she's going to help get him back into the USA. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notification and the thumbs up. Don't forget to leave those comments, make them good. Then go down into the description box where you'll find the link to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, my physical address, my Amazon wish list, and a link to my father's book, which is still up for sale on Amazon. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.